Professor at the Department of Political Science at Pusan National University and joins us from South Korea. Robert, thanks very much indeed for your time. Well, what do you make of all the timing of this? Is this Donald Trump related?
I think it's sort of, in that sense, yeah, I think the North Koreans have a history of throwing out explosive rhetoric, outlandish threats, imagery like this. In the run-up to South Korean and American elections, we've seen this kind of behavior before. It's not actually clear to me who the North Koreans would prefer to be president, possibly Donald Trump because of the perception that he can be manipulated or something like that. But I generally think that the North Koreans put this stuff out there basically for the purposes of deterrence. They're trying to sort of show us that they're a nuclear weapon state and they don't intend to step back. And they give us this constant dribble of missile launches and nuclear tests and nuclear technology imagery and so on to keep us on our toes.
But are they indeed a nuclear weapons state? I mean, how advanced is their program? How much do we know about it?
So yes, they are. The North Koreans detonated a nuclear weapon for the first time in 2006, and they've had, I think, 6 nuclear tests so far. The last one was in 2017, so there's been a hiatus now for the last 7 years, in part because the South Koreans are now so worried that I think if the North Koreans do another nuclear test, South Korea might go for nuclear weapons. That's kind of another issue. But yes, they are. They probably have somewhere between 50 and 100 weapons. Those are the numbers that you hear thrown around by intelligence agencies, but we don't really know. Obviously, the North Koreans don't tell us very much. But the North Koreans have told us that they're integrating smaller nuclear weapons, tactical nuclear weapons, into their traditional conventional forces. So they have those and the big strategic weapons, the ones that would actually fire at the United States. So it's a lot.
And what can South Korea do about this? Seoul obviously suggesting it's not legal. It goes against all those UN resolutions that their program continues. Are they powerless to stop it, though?
Yeah, powerless is a tough word, but yeah, more or less, I think you're correct. I mean, there's not a whole lot. I mean, like, what can we do, right? I mean, if we strike North Korea, I mean, you could do that, right? And the Iranians, for example, have been struck by the Israelis. We could do that, but if you do that, you risk a really major North Korean response. No one really quite knows how the North Koreans would hit back. They almost certainly would. This is one of the reasons why there's never been a strike on North Korea in the past. They've done provocations for many, many years, lots and lots of different things over a long time. We've always kind of let them off the hook, in part because we just don't know how they might respond. It would be nice if the Chinese and the Russians would enforce the sanctions, but the Ukraine war has caused a really, really big break between us and them over this, so they're not going to do that. So my own sense is the technological solution over the long term is to improve missile defense, but that doesn't work terribly well. Like I said, I mean, all this is sort of driving this debate in South Korea, for example, for nuclear weapons, because our options aren't great.
Indeed. So, Robert, we thank you very much indeed for your input. Robert Kelly there joining us, Professor of Political Science at Pusan National University.